video, I will be teaching you how to solve the Rubik's Cube's third layer. So, if most of you guys remember, I made part 1 of how to solve the Rubik's Cube. This is the part 2. So, we last left off on the second layer. So now, let's learn how to solve the third layer. There are 3 possibilities that can happen when you solve the second layer. It can either be a horizontal line or just a dot with no yellow edge pieces facing up, or an angle, or a cross. Our goal here is to make it to the cross. So as you guys can see, it's currently the horizontal line. So to make it the cross, we have to first face the direction where it's being horizontal. Then the face where it's being horizontal, once it's being horizontal, you should put the down face up. Then you have to take the face of the cube that you're facing completely and move it rightwards. Then do R, U, R prime, U prime. After you do that, you might see a white vertical line misplaced from its original position. You can put that back. And after you put that back, you can notice that it's a cross. So I'll be right back. So now as you guys can see, it's an angle. This was the second possibility. So for the angle, you have to make it you have to make the angle face rightwards. You can't do it if it's like this, or like this, or like this. You have to position the cube that the angle looks right ways. Then, as always, look down. Then, last time for the line, we did only one line. But this time, we have to do both of the lines that we are currently facing. So we can do like this. So now now we already did the both sides that we were facing. Now the same thing as before, R, U, R prime, U prime. Then, as you know, there's another line misplaced from its original position. So let's put that back. So here's the cross. Now I'll be right back with a dot. So here is the dot. Okay, so now with the dot, it's the same thing as the horizontal line. But this time the only difference is that you can do it from any side you want. Because no matter how much you rotate it, the dot will remain as a square. So there is no vertical or horizontal line to it. So do the same thing you did with the line. The face that you are facing rightwards, then R, U, R prime, U prime, then the misplaced white line downwards. Then you can see an angle. For the angle, most of you guys might remember what you should do for the angle. So the two faces that you are facing to the right, and the same thing, R, U, R prime, U prime. Then here is the cross. So now it's time to see what we have to do after it's a cross. the third layer is to solve the complete row on the top and to solve the complete yellow face. So let's solve the third layer. For the third layer, you should see around the corners and see if the corners are in the correct place. This corner is in the correct place because orange, orange, yellow, yellow, green, green. So that is in the correct place. But this, as we can see, it's not in the correct place because yellow, even though the yellow matches, blue, green, and orange, red. So they do not match. So we know that it's not in the correct place. This is also not in the correct place, but it will be correct if you move this corner to the other misplaced corner's place. But if you rotate that, then this corner will be misplaced, which was already placed correctly. So we have to swap the both corners. To swap the corners, you should make the corners that are about to be swapped in the right side. Then you have to do r prime, u prime 3 times. Then turn your left face, then turn to your left side. Then you have to turn to your left side. Then do L prime, U prime, L, U 3 times. I will repeat. You have to do L prime, U prime, L, U 3 times. But in the third L prime, U prime, L, U, you should not do U at the last. So now, as you can see, these both corners are correctly placed. So now it's time for these two corners to be swapped as well. These two, when they are swapped, they will be correctly positioned. So I'll do this quick. So whenever you swap the last corner, there is a chance that your cube will be almost solved. And looking at this case, I was a little too lucky. As you can see, 3 sides are solved, and the other 3 sides are about to be solved. Only one square is missing. So as you all know, there's a rare chance for this. I will reset this and will be right back. So now I am back and the corners are also correctly positioned. Now we can see that even though they are correctly positioned, they are not twisted correctly. To twist them correctly, we need to make the white face looking upwards. Then we should make the yellow that is supposed to be turning upwards in the right side of the place that we are facing, and do R prime, U prime till the yellow face of the corner looks down. After the first one is done, some of you guys might be worried that you mistakenly ruined the white space. But don't worry, it's not ruined yet. After wait and see what happens after you do it to the second yellow corner as well. As you can see, the white face is completely solved. no changes, and 2 corners have also been solved. So now it's time for the other 2 corners, and once we not solve, twist the layers correctly, only one part of it will be missing. Now it's time to solve the other 2 layers. I will do this quickly. So now, as you can see, I have made it come correctly. So there are 2 possibilities that can happen when you twist the corners correctly. Either all the sides will have one part missing from them, or one side will be completely solved. If you get one side is completely solved, then do R prime U prime once, then do L prime U prime L U once. Then after you've done this, move the top horizontal layer leftwards, the right vertical layer upwards, the up horizontal layer rightwards, then the right vertical layer downwards. Then do the same thing in the left. Move the top horizontal layer rightwards, left vertical layer upwards, top horizontal layer leftwards, then left vertical layer downwards. And when you do this, it's not necessarily to the cube to be completely solved at the first try itself. So once you've done this and it's not solved, feel free to do it once again. And when you do this twice, it is guaranteed that it will be solved. As you can see, it's solved right here. But now I have still not shown what to do if one part of each face is missing from being completed. So I'll be right back. So I've reset it that there will be one side missing in every face. So you can choose whichever side you want, then do the same thing as you did when you had one part completed. As most of you guys remember, you have to do once the right algorithm, once the left algorithm, then the top horizontal layer leftwards, the right vertical layer upwards, the top horizontal layer rightwards, then the right vertical layer downwards, then the top horizontal layer rightwards, the left vertical layer upwards, the top horizontal layer leftwards, then the left vertical layer downwards. And when you have done this, you will find that one part is completed. One side is completed. So to solve the Rubik's Cube, you have to do the same thing as what you did. So as you have seen, that's how you should solve a Rubik's Cube.